yet. Let's see. Can you see
the love tonight?
That works too, I guess. I don't want to sign in. Or in theory, it should show like, oh shit. Ah! Streaming live as of 33 seconds ago.
Nice.
At least that's working. Let's see if it's actually sending it though.
Alright, this is getting
No audio. Why don't I have any audio?
you should have audio. I see speaking.
Yeah, so yeah, that's working. But I should have audio right here. And I don't. Indeed.
That's because you did not add the audio device in your sources. Oh, okay. It is working. Is it just really quiet?
It has a crazy amount of lag. Has like a 30-second lag to it, but yeah, it is actually kind of working ish.
Already. Oh, I bet you that sounds good right by the mic.
Almost. And there's probably no software-based. Come on. Input's already set to max. Fucking seriously.
Oh, crap.
So, in theory, move this closer. Yes. Oh, shit. Fuck. However, I don't know if this is an Omni or not.
Hello! I would say probably. It probably is.
Fucker. Switch. Audio still doesn't quite seem to be
Yes.
what it should be.
Check your settings on the computer itself. Oh, you're there.
Mm-hmm.
Turn your volume up maybe on the input volume.
Input volume going up a little bit more. Little bit more.
Little bit. It's not doing anything, is it?
No, it's not.
Oh, well, hey, we got yellow now.
We do, but it's far lower than what it should be. And it's not even anything with that. It's legitimately the Scarlet isn't sending any audio. Like, its level is crazy low. Why?
Restart the Scarlet.
Bloop. Yeah. And it's in all the way.
Hey, go back to basics.
Basics.
Okay. Now, let's load this back up again.
Yep.
What the hell?
So what do you think switching from line to instrument will do?
I have no idea.
Switch A.
Whoa, that was loud.
It popped, but it didn't actually do anything. Because I still can't hear you. Ow!
Hello, how are you today? Yeah, it does seem to be a little bit better, maybe? I don't know. It sounds dirty. Yeah, yeah.
It's still way lower than it should be.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Okay, more's grounding.
Oh God.
No straight XLR cables on it. I at least have rummaging audio, so it's getting there.
Like the green bar's going higher.
Yeah, I switched it from the specific one to default. So in theory, that might make a difference.
I hope so. I guess we'll see. At least now I can make it go yellow by being loud.
Yeah, that's good. Figure out something with my phone before we can even test it, though, unfortunately. What the fuck are you doing? Come on. Tap to, of course, unmute. Asshole. Hey.
What? Are we in business?
We might actually be.
Nice.
Well, I'll know in 30 seconds when the delay goes through, but...
Why won't it let me create the damn administrative account? Holy shit, we have audio. Woo, that only took forever. PHP warning. Source core failed to read session data.
No, it's irrelevant.
That's the only warning I get.
Okay, you pause.
Sorry. I get a little excited.
Is it giving you any error or anything on the front end, or is it just redirecting or reloading?
Yeah, just reloading.
Yeah, that's a problem. I'm aware of that. How in the fuck do you fix it? I don't remember. Not off the top of my head.
Fair enough.
Is dev mode on?
No.
Try that. And with YouTube streaming, you can download it after the fact, right?
The video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it automatically saves it.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm just wondering if I have to hit record and stream at the same time, or just if one of them will suffice.
No, one of them will suffice.
Sweet. That way I can download it later.
I'm not sure if it changes the quality of it, though.
Probably does, but I
Yeah,
don't give a shit.
it's probably not as good quality. But, hi!
It's not like it really matters anyways, but...
I'm Drew.
Yeah, slightly new form factor that I'm experimenting with after running into some troubles. Is dev mode on yet?
No, I got distracted by the pretty
Damn
camera.
it. Yes, I know the blue light's distracting, but... You and your nano.
Shut up. I like Nano. Well, that was dumb. I can't remember where it is.
Do you have search? Yeah, dev. Just all... Yep, there you go. How about just dev by itself? You're in the right section. Technical options.
Are you sure I'm in the right section?
No.
Yeah. I was thinking it was up higher than this.
Yeah, there we go. It's right after server ID. Wherever that's at. Okay, so you have dev options now, so or dev rendering. Now try to submit. Still nothing. Yeah. Yeah, that's not going to show you much. Look at the query log. It's not much either.
That was a weird noise. I think we're being invaded.
Oh, I see what they're doing.
What are they doing?
So they have... I was curious about record. I just got caught it out of the corner of my eye. Record's at 0, but they broke out recording times and live stream times.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Yeah.
At the bottom.
Uh-huh.
Well, that is very neat. This is welcome to the first episode of Playing with Charlie's Toys.
He's trying to get shit set up. Yeah, you need a bigger System 76 sticker on the back of that.
No.
It just doesn't, you know, yeah. No.
Okay, might be a little bit of a fanboy.
Make good products. Okay, and I spent all that time fucking around with the stupid camera, and my coals have ran out.
No. I'd have helped keep those going for you, you know.
Well, yes, I could easily let him flow. pocket knife. You never know when you need to redo coals.
Watch, and he just knocks everything over.
Great. Okay. So, any ideas about what we should discuss for me to crop out and put into its own episode?
Well, you got to crop out the background, you know, so that like everybody in the world can't see your kitchen.
But I meant crop out as in extract the video from it.
I have no idea.
You're useless.
I don't know what you're talking about.
For topics to chat about.
No, there it goes. There's your icon.
Woohoo! Little something or other. Yes. I forgot about the background.
Really? Archer?
Yes, Archer.
Take backup unknown. Oh, let's break the internet. Breaking the internet.
Yeah, you need to get a little closer than that. But yeah.
Hey, that lag isn't bad.
Yeah, it's substantially better than on my phone.
That's awkward. Stop this.
Yeah, there is an option for gaming mode or some shit, but I'm pretty sure I have that disabled.
Gaming mode?
On OBS.
Oh.
It adds an artificial 30-second lag, or a 60-second.
Oh, okay.
So that way when you're playing like FPS games or some shit, people can't watch your live stream and...
Kill you.
Yes. Yeah. Pretty good idea. I wouldn't have even thought of it. Coals take too long to fire up.
I believe I have my streaming set up too.
You have your key up there?
Mm-hmm. I just haven't finished my scene.
Well, I don't have much work on my scene. I just added the logo bar.
The camera. It's dirty. You need to Windex it. That's why you get the streaky light. Windex. Gee, what a guy. Yeah, it's a little better.
Lens wipes.
My poor computer. I abuse it. Yay. Now I'm streaming too. Multiple streams. Yay.
Hey, that's okay.
I don't know if mine sounds any better than yours, though. I bet yours sounds a lot better. Let's test the Siri.
I did spend a little bit more money on the mic setup. And the camera, actually. Emma and you eat crickets.
Yeah, we ate crickets. It really happened.
Were they chocolate flavored?
Sour cream and onion, actually.
Guess it might not be too bad. Protein.
Yes, it wasn't terrible. Uh-oh.
What?
Oh, it does say you're live now. Okay.
Yeah, the icon just went away.
I don't know how to handle this YouTube stuff.
Yeah, they keep changing it too often. And now you have to go through the creator studio and...
Yeah, mine's not even there. Did I set it up for YouTube or did I set it up for Twitch?
File settings. Stream. Oh, that was useful. No, top second. Yeah, there you go. Twitch.
Oh, Twitch. He streamed to Twitch. I'm awesome. All my people that follow me on Twitch are probably like, what the hell is he doing? Long story short.
Creative mode or whatever it's called now.
Yeah. Well, you can only stream to like one thing at a time, so it's kind of annoying.
Found that unfortunate.
I don't think that's the right key for YouTube, but hey, let's try it. Nope, not the right key. It was my Twitch key. Okay. Now I gotta go into my YouTube and find my YouTube key. Isn't streaming fun?
Yay. Okay, now I'm gonna knock shit over.
Yay. I don't know. Can you save videos to Twitch now? Because back in the day, you had to like pay for it and able to upload your videos. Well, they bought Discord or something.
What?
Discord and Twitch are the same now, or something of that nature.
Well, that would be unfortunate.
For Discord or Twitch?
Discord. Yeah. All right.
I don't know. There's something about that. I could be completely wrong. So that is unconfirmed.
Although, I guess it makes sense. But yeah, last thing I saw of Twitch was some guy on YouTube complaining about cam girls.
Why would you complain about cam girls?
Because according to Twitch's user profile, terms of agreement, whatever, you can't do anything overly sexually obvious.
Okay.
And I guess squats or some shit in yoga pants and or less for subs is acceptable.
Huh.
Technically, based on the cam girl. I don't know. It's weird.
Nice. Hey, look at that. I got 249 watch time minutes in the last 28 days.
Probably more than me.
It's only because of this. Got a lot of hits off that one video.
Well, a lot of people were curious about the Galaga Pro.
It's a very nice computer. Very nice. I like it. There it goes. Okay.
Stream options. Oh, there you go.
Anyone with this key can stream on your YouTube.
No shit. It's a private key.
Thanks, YouTube. By the way, if anybody would like my private YouTube stream key, just,
Brute force it.
brute force it.
Yeah.
It's actually not very big.
No.
You think it'd be bigger? That's probably what she said. Well, let's see if it works. Holy shit, it works. Oh, wow, look at that. Let's see how terrible we sound. Are you satisfied with Livestream? What, now it's giving me a survey?
There you go. And I'm getting messages.
Oh, because I went online and you're subscribed to me?
No.
No?
No. I have better video. That's for sure.
Yes. Yeah, my video is pretty... Well, I mean, it's a webcam. It's a built-in webcam. Yeah.
So, I'm guessing Dawn... a lot of machine noise on it, but it's about as what I'd expect for an embedded audio card.
All right. I guess we'll stop that.
But yeah, Dawn, I'm guessing she's watching. She just sent me a message. Check my YouTube Messenger.
Hey, check your YouTube Messenger.
I can't check my YouTube Messenger when I'm streaming to YouTube. Like, my computer's over there.
That's okay. I got you, fam.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to pull this up and mute it. Morning Sun said, "Hi, dorks." Hello.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you for calling us dorks.
I'm more curious about Morning Sun, like the username.
Morning Sun. I'm assuming that's your sister.
Yes, that would be my suspicion as well.
I will respond.
Meh. So, you still did not come up with anything to chat about, so
Oh, I was going to chat about this guy.
don't stay in school? Nice.
His name is Boy in a Band. And if I could put him on TV without looking bad, I would. But anyway, he looks just like Charlie, in my opinion.
Maybe if I dyed my hair black and red.
And shaved.
Oh, fuck that.
That probably sounds terrible. Wasn't his Boy in a Band? He's pretty funny.
Well, a form of nerdcore, kind of appreciate it, but it's scientific.
Nerdcore.
It's a very difficult genre to find good stuff about, good content about. Is he British?
I don't know. I feel like he is British.
He has a bit of an accent there.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I think he just pasted it in the Magna Carta. That's kind of cool.
I think that was the 30 human rights that the United Nations made.
A little more updated version.
True.
So his username is Boy in Band.
Boy in a Band.
In N-A Band.
Yeah.
Okay.
He does some really weird stuff. Hey, prime numbers are awesome, damn it. Pulls the iPhone out of his pocket.
Well, he does have a good point,
Yeah.
but at the same time, being able to do basic operations
Kind of
is
important.
beneficial,
Yes, I was trying to beat that into my child. Not literally, but...
figuratively.
Like, I'm sorry, but you have to learn how to do 2 + 2, and 12 times 12, and all these things. And it's going to help you someday in the future.
More specifically, 20 minus 10.5.
Right, change.
Yeah, exactly. I actually had a recent problem with that here in town. Went to get food and came up to like $6 or something, or $5 and some change. And so I handed them a 10 and a 1. So that way I don't get 4 ones back. I get a 5. The
What's wrong with
the
that?
cashier was completely confused about it. Because she didn't understand that, well, I handed her a 10. Why am I handing her more money?
This does not...
I had to reassure her, like, just type it in. You'll see. It'll be fine. Oh, well.
Well, there is kind of some good out of that. At least you know that they're not so reliant on the machine that they don't question it. At least they're like, huh? That doesn't make sense.
I guess.
I take it where I can get it, man.
All right.
I do want everybody to know that Smite, North America won the World Championships for Smite last week, so it's fantastic.
What's Smite?
Smite,
Yeah.
know, it's a MOBA.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like Dota, but with gods like Athena and Thor. Yeah, it's really.
Yeah, I'm not very up to date on my games, especially MOBAs.
Yeah.
I tried them a while back and didn't have every single class memorized, so I wasn't very good at it.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult. Once you learn how to play them, though, they're a lot of fun. Oh, look, my wife is messaging me. She says, "Hey, I'm going to respond to her."
On your watch.
Hello. How are you? All right. We'll see what she says. This could be interesting. I don't think she's watching, but
Probably
you never
not.
know.
Nobody's watching.
No, we got one watching. That's
yeah,
probably
right.
me.
Probably. Or Dawn.
Or Don. Hi, Don.
Yep. So, one topic everybody's been asking me about, net neutrality.
Oh, no. Don't ask me about this.
What do you mean don't ask you about this? Why not?
My opinion on net neutrality is that it's a good thing it's gone.
Okay. I'm going to get into that in a second. Let me just...
Ooh, raising the mic. It's kind of like raising the bar, but not as fun.
What? It's weird.
Shut up. I'm surprised it hasn't started snowing yet.
It's supposed to be snowing?
Yeah, we're supposed to get like 1 to 3 inches overnight.
Fucking seriously.
No. Just seriously. Did that thing just fart?
There.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Might be a little better.
That was a good time.
So, you think it's a good thing that it's gone.
Yes.
Do you care to elaborate?
I feel like deregulation is probably the best thing that a country can do. And, the internet has been around since the 80s. And all these...
Give or take.
All these things that everybody is afraid of happening, ISP slowing down your internet, making you pay for certain things. It never happened before net neutrality. And net neutrality didn't do a very good job of fixing it anyway. One of the things that net neutrality was supposed to solve was bandwidth caps. Because if you remember, the whole thing came about when AT&T got caught throttling bandwidth for Netflix.
Yeah.
Or it might have been vice versa, but somebody was throttling bandwidth.
It was either AT&T or Verizon,
Yeah.
one or the other.
Ticked everybody off, and they were doing it to save people data. So, whether or not that they had the best interests of their consumers at heart, we'll never know. But let's just assume they didn't.
They are a large corporation.
The point is that net neutrality was supposed to fix that and keep that from ever happening again. Mm-hmm. Well, surprise, it doesn't. It never did. I have an internet service provider that I won't shame on the internet, but my internet service provider gives me internet at a certain speed, but I'm capped. I have a cap.
You mean bandwidth cap?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if I go over that limit, then I have to pay extra. So that hasn't changed.
Oh,
net neutrality itself was supposed to get rid of that as well.
Not entirely.
Well,
it was more focused on the slowing down of competitors.
Right. Even today, if you look at your unlimited cell phone services, after you go above a certain amount, it's going to slow you down. And then even more, if you look at the fine print, it says that they slow down, they throttle Netflix and YouTube and all those at 1080p. So it's throttled at a certain level if you're on the 4G network. Mm. And all of that's in the fine print. So net neutrality didn't really do anything anyway. They were already doing it.
Well, from a wireless standpoint, wireless wasn't ever classified as an ISP.
Right, which is how they got away with it.
Right.
Because it's a utility.
Right.
But the point is like it's still going to happen. The internet hasn't died. It's still happening. What is it? 68% of all users are now cell phone users on the internet, mobile users.
Yeah, I don't believe that's dead.
It's quite a high number. I'll have to look it up.
Maybe if you're counting per device.
Yeah.
And yeah, sure. When you're out and about, you'll obviously be using mobile. But try to use 4G as your day-to-day mechanism. Like
Right.
even streaming video.
Mm-hmm.
Can you stream video over 4G reliably?
I can for the most part. I don't have too many issues with it. A year ago, probably not. It's gotten a lot better. I think the other side of that too is the biggest thing is I don't believe that the government is responsible for protecting me as a consumer. Like, we as consumers, ultimately, if somebody launches a product that doesn't make us very happy, we're going to fight back against it. And you're kind of taking that power away from the consumer and handing it over to the government.
In theory, if we had more than one option.
We have multiple options.
We do?
Yes. Comcast, right?
So in this town, can you get Comcast?
No. You can get Frontier, Mediacom, or SMTA.
Now you can, yeah.
Yes.
Luckily.
Yeah. Which is pretty good for a town of 6,000.
Yeah. Shit, 6,000?
I think something like that.
I thought we were at 3K. 3K.
I don't know. I'm probably wrong on that stat, too. People are going to start calling me Trump.
Yeah, don't even open that can of worms. At least not quite yet. Yeah, so Frontier and Mediacom. To me, that's not not even a comparable option.
Right, because Frontier's so slow, because it's DSL.
Even more so, it's DSL at 3 megabit.
Yeah, I think the fastest they offer in town is 25.
In theory, but not
You
really.
can't get, only certain people can get it.
Yeah.
Only if you rub the magic lamp the right way or something.
They even have fiber, but they have like 10 people max who can use it.
Because of the hub.
Yeah. And of course, all those 10 have already used it. And I'm still on a waiting list, by the way. It's been about a year. They still haven't called me.
Hey, you will be happy to know, though, the Mediacom just upgraded to gigabit. I don't know how much it is, but there you go.
Probably quite a bit.
SMTA came into town, and their max is 200 megabits. 200 up, 200 down. I saw the prices for that. I'm not going to reveal it because, for whatever reason, they don't feel like giving away their prices, but I wasn't pleased with it.
It's not public data?
No. You have to call them to get the prices.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. I don't know. I kind of had a feeling it was so they could push you.
Is it at least comparable to Mediacom's offering?
Yeah, sure. You'll have to call and ask. I don't.
So it's not quite price competitive.
No.
Okay.
I'm wondering if might be a reason for that, but I'm not switching it anytime soon. They're after fighting with Mediacom for 2 years, they finally did come out and replace the line, like I asked them to, and I haven't had any more internet problems.
Since you've been asking them since day one?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Every time they tell me it was my modem, so I'd have to buy a new modem, and then I finally got sick of buying new modems and said, listen, either replace the line or I'm going to go to Frontier.
Yeah. Lo and behold, and even the modems that you had that were bad, quote unquote, hey, they work just fine.
Yeah. Actually, you're using one, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, he's using one of my bad modems.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there you go. Oh, it was funny, though, because I told him I was going to go. I actually almost tried to switch to Frontier, but because they didn't have enough ports open on their hub, I couldn't get the 25 megabit internet, which is trash anyway. And so I was like, great, I'll have to stay with Mediacom. And, you ever see that South Park episode? We're the only cable company in town. Yeah. I felt like that was going on pretty hard.
Just a little bit.
They're like, oh, you're gonna switch? Yeah, right. You ain't switching.
Yeah. And that's one major issue with the argument of free competition.
But see, do you know who you can blame for that?
Spectrum.
No.
Oh.
You can blame the government.
Oh.
Because the government stepped in and set up rules, and they said, okay, we're going to... Basically, what happened is there was a law that was passed, and it allowed the communications companies, your cable companies, your phone companies, to kind of divide up the country. And so everybody's got their own areas, and they don't compete. And they don't compete because the municipalities and the townships are the ones who decide, who does what where. And so it's really confusing law, but it's very difficult for a company to come
sometimes.
in. Yeah. But
like in Google's case in Tennessee or Kentucky, wherever it was, they had to get permission. Like the township said that they could come in,
Right.
but they had to get permission to run the wires on the telephone poles, on the utility poles. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, the utility poles were owned by the cable companies.
Right. And they're not going to give
Yeah.
permission.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's a bit of an issue as well.
And that, it kind of goes, it goes full circle there. So, instead of, which I get it because the cable companies probably paid to put those poles in there, and I understand that. But, you're impeding that free trade.
Yeah, and especially a utility pole or utility mechanisms like that.
Which I believe is subsidized by the government anyway.
Public.
Yeah.
And it's
I
public.
I make them, so.
Yeah. And it should be considered a public asset.
Right.
Because it serves the public.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Critical.
Yeah.
Because electricity, phone,
yeah,
everything, fiber gets hung off those utility poles. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
SMTPA or
SMTA.
Whatever they're called.
I think they went the underground route.
Yes.
They're like, screw you and your telephone poles.
Exactly.
Underground.
Yeah, I noticed that they're doing everything underground, and I have a sneaky feeling it's probably because of that reason.
Yeah, good old fiber.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat to watch them drill that stuff underground, though. I'm pretty excited. I think maybe the prices will go down. I'm wondering if maybe everything's just not set up and they're subsidizing. I don't know what they're doing, but
now, do they offer any other speeds than just 200 by 200 symmetrical?
For Hicksville, the fastest they said they offer is 200 by 200.
Do they have a lower price point?
If you live in Sherwood, I believe before they took the prices off the website, they were coming in at unlimited was $90 a month.
Oh, okay.
That's unlimited up, unlimited down.
See, that's not too bad. Although theoretically, unlimited is going to be a gig, but still a gig for $100, a gig symmetrical for $100
is pretty good.
Yeah. Sure. We're looking at 100 megabit symmetric for I think $600 a month.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Well, you can get 100 megabit symmetric through SMTA at about 120 a month. I think it's 180 for 200 symmetric. 160.
So for
business internet, that's damn good.
Well, yeah, and from a technical comparison between shared coaxial or cable, DSL, and fiber, because fiber, it's going to be a dedicated connection from you to the office or whatever.
Right, you're always going to have that.
Yeah. So that's not too hateful.
My wife has texted me back. She wants to know how long I'm going to be.
I don't know. Until we get bored.
Check out Charlie's YouTube. We're having a fireside chat. She's like, what?
Sans fire.
Yeah, sans fire. That's dangerous. Well, I mean, we got hookah. That's close enough.
Yeah. Minor heat source.
It's kind of like a fire.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
But anyway, what is your thoughts on the net neutrality?
I am a big fan of it. It is...
Of course you are.
Government intervening and trying to impose regulations. But sometimes that's okay. Like in this case, if you're a company providing a resource, in this case that nobody else can switch, or nobody has an option for any alternatives. Yeah, I don't have a problem with them saying you as the sole provider, as the monopoly in the area, can't rate limit your competitors. Just because people don't want to have your shitty TV.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, like, I get where the worry's coming from, because cutting the cord is getting more and more popular, and it won't be long, I think, until cable TV is a thing of the past.
Yeah, definitely.
But there's a lot more factors to consider. I don't really think that that's going to be competitive. We're already not competitive as far as our internet goes on a global
Compared
scale.
to the rest of the world?
And so that would put us even farther behind.
You mean like how most Northern European countries laugh at us because they get gigs for 25 euros?
Yeah, even South Korea has internet twice as fast and 4 times as cheap.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's fucking Korea.
Yeah. So, yes, there is a problem, and I think that I don't really feel like kind of going to this weird net neutrality thing is ever gonna. There's countries that have it, there's countries that don't, and so far everybody's the same. The internet's either there or it's not.
But the U.S. and our fondness for capitalism to an extreme seems to
Fair enough.
Seems to not quite follow the global trend.
I think that part of the problem with the United States is that we, I think, right in the last 10 years, with the recession and everything, is, except for the cell phone industry, nobody is investing money into the infrastructure. And that's starting to change.
Well, companies are investing in infrastructure, and they're investing quite a bit. It's just at the last mile, like in this area for residential, they're not.
Well, yes, and that's typical.
Yeah.
And we're such a rural country that that's going to happen all the time. But I mean, like, the fiber, everything's going to fiber now, and we're starting. And once we get there, we're going to be on par with every other country in the world. Just getting the prices down to a more reasonable level. But that's the problem, is the cable companies in the United States are the ones who are providing the internet, and when they take a hit on the cable side, they got to make that money up somehow.
Yes.
So they hit the internet side.
Yes.
And that's why we see the internet prices soaring.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like, and it may come to the point, and you might be right. It may come to a point someday where they're going to raise the internet prices so high that that's the only way the average consumer is going to be able to purchase internet, is in a package that includes,
Yep. So I was doing some little bit of minor research. Have you read anything about what big cable companies are planning for 2018?
No.
Completely unofficial, but it's rumored.
My wife wants ice cream.
I don't have any ice cream.
I'll have to go get her some.
It's rumored that they want to implement circa early 2000s data caps on ISP connections. So your monthly bandwidth limit will be 20 gigs. And that's going to be your standard package.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I think my bandwidth limit is a terabyte right now.
Yeah. And that's not too hateful. That's okay.
I don't see that as ever happening. I just can't see that.
Yeah.
Them getting.
Yeah.
I mean, because they used to limit it at 200 gigs, and MediaCom was one of them that got in trouble. They got a lawsuit filed against them because it was just not. It was too much.
Now they're going to be able to do that again.
Yeah, but they're going to get sued again.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and this was before net neutrality. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Verizon got hit with a lawsuit before net neutrality. Straight Talk, if you remember the great Straight Talk debacle, where they throttled people's internet after so many gigabytes, they got in trouble. And then they had to start writing it down on the package, and then you read the package, you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. Now, does that mean that they could throttle your internet? Perhaps. They already do get a lot of leeway in throttling internet, especially if you get caught with BitTorrent traffic.
Well, then they'll just shut you down.
Yes, but they can actually throttle you now. And so now, today, because of the Media Rights Association of America, or whatever the hell it's called, lobbying Congress, they can step in and tattle on you if you do these things. And then, of course, if you have like BitTorrent traffic or anything like that, they can throttle you and punish you and throttle you forever, and you can never get away from it.
Well, that's lovely.
Yeah. Beat you with the stick.
But yeah, they want to do like 20 to 30 gig monthly limits with overage fees if you go over. And then the net neutrality thing that they had to get rid of is they want to implement packages. And so you can buy the Netflix package.
Yes, and see that's not true. Like nobody has said that this is what we're going to do.
Well, of course, nobody said it per
As a
se.
matter of fact, many ISPs came out and said this is what we're not going to do. And they said we're not going to do this. Now everybody kind of looked at that and said, "Haha, yeah, right. They're promising to behave if we take the law off them."
Yeah.
And I get that, but I think it's more or less it's the same thing. We already have bandwidth caps. We already have we're already throttled. Like all these things that net neutrality was supposed to fix, it hasn't. And so they could have already done most of this, but they didn't.
Now they're going to have a lot more leeway to do it more so.
Right, but now we have the government out of it, which is where it needs to be. It needs to be in the hands of consumers.
If we had alternative competition.
But that's opening up too. I think that we need to update that old law. And
it's not even a law as much as just if you want to start.
It is a law. There is a law. It's the same thing at the healthcare in different states thing. It works the same way. Buddy over here he can go up to this line, but he can't cross this line because Spectrum owns that, or whatever on their invisible cable map that they all drew up and everybody came up together with and lobbied for the government for. They have their invisible cable map. And so that's kind of like the regulation doesn't help us. I can't think of any law that's ever helped us. Personally, there's probably a few out there, to be honest. But I'm just saying, like, in this particular instance, we need the industry to grow and thrive. And I just can't see us doing that anytime that you have government involved in that. We need to become a world leader in internet again. And I don't feel like we're going to. If the government's involved, putting their little dirty little fingers and everything. We have differing opinions. Absolutely.
But yeah, so you don't think that they're going to do
well, who wants
package rates like that?
Who wants net neutrality? Is Google behind net neutrality?
Yes.
Is Facebook behind net neutrality?
Yes.
How about Amazon? Are they behind net neutrality?
Yeah.
How about Twitter?
Pretty sure they are. I don't know. They're not really a bandwidth intensive service, so
okay.
Like posting 140
so
characters.
My point is all these big, huge conglomerates that have made millions and millions and millions of dollars billions off of the internet want net neutrality.
Yes.
So tell me, if these people are making so much money off the internet, then how in the world is this bad for Americans? If these big businesses, we're all yelling at the ISPs and we're saying the ISPs are evil, but we have to remember that Google isn't very nice either. They're in it for the money. Facebook's in it for the money. So there's something to be said when they're pushing so hard for it.
Well, from this standpoint, yes, they might be greedy corporations just like anybody else, but
well, I mean, I don't mean it like that.
But they have a service that they're trying to send out to make money off of. But if an internet service provider isn't letting their content through or isn't letting them come at a decent speed,
right,
they can't make money off of it. So that's why they like net neutrality, because they can actually market their service.
Right, but that's the point. And without it, I think the internet's going to stay the same. In my honest opinion, I don't think it's going to change much. I think that there's a lot of doom and gloom going out there, and I wish I was a little bit more well versed on the topic that I could explain it better. But I don't buy the hype. And the hype is that your ISP is gonna bend you over the coffee table and give it to you when you cut your cable bill.
Yeah.
And I just don't feel like that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I
weird.
do. Although if you're spending $100+, like $120 on your monthly internet bill, then you'll have the same service you do today.
Yeah. Which, I mean, most people already are. It's insane how high the prices have gone. Right. And that was under net neutrality. So I don't think it's going to change that.
Well, they are going to have their budget plans that are limited. And and those would be like $40, $50. but then the extra 70 will get you back to your unlimited rate.
Right. Yeah, I feel like the best thing that we can do is get rid of the archaic cable television laws, open everything up so that we can actually have free competition. And, you know, it's like, for example, one of the things that kind of surprised me, SMTA, to come into Hicksville, they had to go in front of the city council and ask for permission to sell us a product. How does our village council get to decide what products I get or don't get?
That is kind of odd, but they are running through town under people's yards. So,
right, but they're not asking for permission to do that. They're asking for the right to sell a product in town. And more specifically, they cannot even try without the blessing, and that's how it is everywhere. So if I work for Mediacom, maybe I lobby or maybe I take the village council out for a nice dinner, whatever it might be. These are completely legal things that they can do, and then suddenly SMTA can't come into Hicksville anymore. So I mean, those things happen, unfortunately, especially in the cities, but it's starting to open up, I think, a little bit better. I think, and really, I think it's really awesome what SMTA is doing, because they're a small business.
Well, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they're stealing their internet from Metalink, who's another small business who's stealing their internet from somebody else.
Well,
all the way up to the big four.
I don't think that's quite the case.
I don't want to call it stealing.
I don't think Metalink owns the fiber backbone between the different towns.
I could have sworn it was Metalink. I'll have to. Man, I guess I could look it up real quick.
Yeah, it's whoever owns the connection up the street. There's a fiber backbone that runs from the hospital east to west through town.
That would be Mediacom.
Mediacom owns that line?
I believe so.
Okay, so that's who they're tapping into.
I don't think so, because they ran fiber all the way from Sherwood to Hicksville.
Did they?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. It's a Metacom partner. I don't know what Metacom is. Maybe it's not Metalink.
Well, that does sound very Metalink-ish.
Yeah.
Metalink. Yep. Okay.
Ask about our gigabit services that you can have.
Oh, call us. We're not going to tell you anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because you go to look. So I can load it up here. This is what they offer in Hicksville. So it starts at 10 meg, and it goes all the way up to 25 meg. And
okay, yeah.
See,
10.
So
10...
it's half. It's not quite symmetric.
Yeah.
So
it's literally half for all of them.
Yeah.
So they have 10 down, 5 up, 25 down, 12.5 up, 50, 100, and 200. So.
And there's no prices.
Right. Yeah, no prices. Although that is very akin to other internet providers, like cable providers. They also don't like to show their pricing because they tend to raise the rates when there's no other competition and lower the rates when there is competition.
Right. So, and then...
Is that Sherwood's?
Yes.
Okay. So Sherwood's plan 6 meg, 10 meg, 25, or unlimited, which is not really unlimited. I don't like how they say that.
Yeah. It's basically a gig.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, they did have prices on the website at one time, and when they had the prices and I looked at it, unlimited was $90 a month. So I got really excited. And now I'm not so much excited because a gigabit internet is really exciting to me, but I'm really scared to go through Mediacom to get it because I've heard very bad things about them.
Well, it's probably not going to be very close to a gig.
I've heard that not only that, I've heard that, but I just heard that like your lines don't want to run them. Like it's too much for the lines. It's too close to that, for the coaxial. And so, like, they have to replace the lines. Of course, how long it took me to get my line replaced. Then the equipment you have to have their cable router to
What?
run it, so they're going to upcharge you for
That's weird.
Yeah, they won't let you...
Because that's DOCSIS 3.
Yeah, it's DOCSIS 3, but they won't let you run your own cable router.
Yeah, that's shitty.
Yeah, it says right on their website that if you have 500 megabits or more, you have to have a Mediacom cable router. And of course, they give you the modem and the router together, and you can't install and have your own router, which is ridiculous. I don't understand that, but I will never, ever...
Yeah, the best you can do in that case is something called a double NAT.
Which is...
Works, but it's janky.
Slow. Yeah, and it slows you down.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find that. Disclaimer.
Okay, so continuing on net neutrality. Also, well, it's not really rumored. The next bill they want to pass is they want to reclassify mobile data, like 4G, as an internet service provider.
Which they probably should. It is an internet service provider.
Potentially.
What would the point be for that?
Well, the point...
Obviously, one thing it does is brings it under the FCC.
Yeah. The idea is that if you get your home internet and your cell phone usage and internet, they're going to be on the same bill, which means they're going to be under the same data cap. So now the 20 gig limit, it's shared by all of your devices. So you'll basically have to go with the unlimited for even more.
Okay, I see. Yeah. Oh, I kind of get that. Well, even with unlimited plans, you still have a data cap. And the only difference is, really, even, like, I think I have Sprint, and I have Verizon's pretty much the same way. But if I go over 20 gigabits in a month, I get slowed down to...
Gigabytes.
20 gigabytes.
Yep.
At 4G unlimited speed. I get slowed down to 3G speed, which would suck. I don't know. I've never hit that before on my cell phone. But, so it's literally not truly unlimited. But, I don't know. They put that fine print in there. Kind of makes you think it is. But then you got to read the fine print.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would be different if they were classified as an ISP or not.
Well, that's the next thing that they're lobbying for. So it's kind of raises some questions as to why they're lobbying for it.
Yeah. But aren't they already AT&T, Sprint, aren't those the big four for ISPs?
Mobile, not for ISP.
ISP in general. Everything goes up to them.
No.
So who's the tier? What is it? Tier 2 or tier 3?
There are a few. Well, unfortunately, used to be level 3.
Level 3.
Used to be level 3, and then level 3 bought Time Warner, or they bought TW Cable.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be confused with Time Warner, because they split a decade ago.
Right.
And so level 3 bought TWC, and then Spectrum / Comcast, they bought level 3.
Okay.
And so now Spectrum / Comcast owns much of the backbone in the U.S.
Gotcha. That's kind of scary.
Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, there are still other options. XO Communications, they're a backbone provider.
Okay.
Cogent, they're a backbone provider. And they're actually the ISP that we're looking at in Columbus.
Gotcha.
And they will offer basically backbone internet to your premise.
Nice.
Yeah.
Get rid of some hops there.
Yeah. They also guarantee, I think, 10 millisecond ping time to the backbone.
I would imagine. Yeah. Because you have no hops.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a little pricey because it is backbone grade service. But if that's your thing, if you're an internet company,
that's what you want.
Yeah. So yeah, there are a few.
Eval planning on becoming an ISP?
Why did we do an ISP?
I don't know.
That's a lot of hassle for not much money.
Just curious.
No, if customers need help with an ISP, we'll help them get set up with whatever they need. But yeah, we're not going to get in that business.
Yeah. That'd be a lot of fun.
But something I was thinking of here in town is doing a mesh network.
Oh, yes. We've talked about that before.
Yeah. I don't... It's an interesting idea, but it still requires people to have, like, at least some super nodes to have a good internet connection.
Right.
So...
We'd be okay. I think there's a couple other people who are kind of interested. They would suck.
What do you mean? Like, residents to sign up?
The one down there. Our friend Nate down there, his internet sucks.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, if we put an omnidirectional antenna on top of this building, and then we could do a mesh down to his place.
This is true.
Yeah.
We could all be on one happy network.
Yep. And then if one person's ISP decides to throttle something, it'll just automatically get rerouted to somebody else who isn't being throttled.
Until I start getting those TCMA notices from MediaCom because somebody down the street is doing something they shouldn't be.
Yeah. Well, you can limit that on your end.
That would be sad, though. I'd have to. Yes, the free internet's dead, by the way, if you haven't figured that out yet. There's no such thing unless you have a VPN or a proxy.
Yeah. Well, even if you're talking about a cap, a VPN doesn't even get around that.
Nope.
Because that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, oh, they're going to throttle Netflix or whatever when they remove net neutrality.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't seem to be the case, because if they're imposing a data cap, it doesn't matter what traffic it's going through. It doesn't matter if it's directly to the source or through a VPN.
Right.
It still counts against your data usage,
mm-hmm.
which kind of sucks.
Of course, now, if they're going to, like, let's say you only get 5 gigs per day of Netflix. We'll just say that. If you have a VPN, it will hide that traffic. They won't be able to tell that you're looking at Netflix.
Well, yeah, but what they're going to do is they're just going to say you have 5 gigs per day.
Right.
In general.
Which I think would start a riot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially now with, all these Xboxes and everything. You imagine these people are, video game.
You mean to play Call of Duty, you have to download 10 gigs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
60. Some of these games are 60 gigabytes that you're downloading.
And you need to patch day one when you buy the game.
Right. And so that's not going to go over well with anybody. And I just don't feel like that would be...
Well, you see, in that case, you just pay an extra $9.99 a month for the Xbox package.
Right.
And then any traffic going to Microsoft's Xbox servers isn't counted against your data cap.
Ah, I see what you're saying there.
Yeah.
You trying to say something there?
That internet providers are kind of shady?
Well, they got to make money too. I mean, we all know that this shit ain't cheap.
To a point, but it's not that expensive.
Right. I suppose you could say that. I don't know. I would think that, a company like that probably has a lot of money invested. A lot of money sitting around out here. It's not that easy. But
they have a good amount of money, but what's the... yeah.
Didn't you just say earlier that that's a lot of hassle for not a lot of profit?
Yeah.
So, now you're calling them shady for trying to make money, but, they're going through a lot of hassle for not a lot of profit.
Well, you have, let's say 1,000 customers and $100 a month. Pretty decent chunk of change for a single town.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the infrastructure is already laid, and it's been laid for decades.
Well, with them bringing this fiber, I think I read in the paper that it was somewhere around $30,000 to run the fiber from Sherwood to Hicksville. And then an additional umpteen $1 million to put it all around town for everybody to hook into.
Well, that's actually going to be new infrastructure.
Yes.
Cable companies aren't relying on new infrastructure.
Right. So they get kind of lucky. But still, it was probably the same cost when they're the ones that put it up.
20 years ago.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sure they probably recouped that cost by now.
Yeah.
But, the point is that, but that's the other side of the coin there, is that they're losing money because the easy money, which is cable, That's easy money, but they're losing money left and right on that. And, that's nobody but their own fault. It's these networks' fault. And, everybody.
You mean for buying all of the network television companies?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then merging them all into one umbrella? NBC/Mediacom/Spectrum.
Yeah, what is it now?
It's Spectrum.
Spectrum?
Yeah.
Who's Spectrum on?
Everyone.
Oh. Is that legal?
Yeah, Comcast bought NBC.
Okay.
And NBC had a bunch of television franchises as well. And then Spectrum Comcast merged with a bunch of other ISPs and changed the name to Spectrum.
Right. I remember that. It was kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah. So now Time Warner, Comcast, they're all...
Pretty much all of your cable providers.
Yeah. With the exception...
Of Mediacom.
Yeah.
We're all under Spectrum.
Yeah.
Roadrunner. What's that?
That's Spectrum.
That's Spectrum now?
Yep.
Good God. What happened? How did we let this happen? It's pretty much a monopoly.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times. And then you have Frontier, which, they're going to be phased out, probably.
I don't quite get Frontier. I don't quite get their business model.
I don't understand it either.
Because I'm pretty sure we had faster DSL speeds with the previous company. Like Verizon. Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it was the same. I'm pretty sure it was the same. The only difference, because back then, when they were bought out, the fastest you could get was 11 megabits. And now that they have the quad DSL or whatever the hell it's called, you can get up to 25. But
in theory, but
the fastest speed that ADSL should be able to hold is like 11 megabits, theoretically.
Well, no, ADSL can go up to gigabit.
No way.
Or a VDSL, sorry.
Yeah, I was talking about I don't know, VDSL. I don't know what that is.
VDSL, it runs on the same twisted pair. The only thing they have to change is the modem on the consumer's end and the whatever it's called in the data center to receive the connection. That receiving card, that needs to be a VDSL compatible modem as well.
Interesting.
But it runs off the same twisted pair.
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
4 twisted pair.
Yeah.
Can run gigabit.
Yeah.
Really?
Look it up. VDSL.
Well, I suppose it could work if you can run gigabit off of one copper line.
Yeah.
I get it. All right. I'm picking up what you're throwing down.
But yeah, of course, they haven't upgraded anything in this area to support that, so...
Yeah, well, I think that there was probably a deal when they bought Frontier. When Frontier bought the Verizon, they bought out all their stuff except for their fiber and their cell phones. So I'm wondering if there wasn't some kind of non-comp agreement or something going on in that deal.
They couldn't provide decent speeds as part of the non-compete?
Yeah.
Very well could be.
That would be kind of tricky. Very high bit rate digital subscriber.
Yes.
And very high bit rate digital subscriber line 2. Huh. Let's check out howstuffworks.com.
How stuff... Come on. Wikipedia was the first link.
Who uses Wikipedia?
Everyone.
I like how stuff works. It puts it simply for me. I'm kind of dumb. Speeds up to 52 megabits per second. I don't see gigabit in here.
Okay, there's 100.
Let's just Google
300.
Speeds. Copper form, blah, blah, blah. Your download speed can be boosted to between 15 and 70 megabits, and your uploads 5 to 10. Maximum speed. Theoretical maximum of 300 megabits per second.
Yep.
At source.
Yep.
What about DSL2? That's a new thing now. Come on. What's VDSL2?
Thanks to Alcatel-Lucent, whatever their name is.
I mean, Lucent as in like Lucent Technologies?
Yes.
Oh.
Yep. They've been working on that standard.
Yep, 350 megabits.
So I guess not quite gig speed, but a hell of a lot better than 11.
All right, I've been recruited by ice cream. It's okay. Ice cream's delicious.
Where can you pick up ice cream at 10 o'clock at night in this town?
Marathon. They got the Blue Bunny. It's good stuff.
Do they have Jenny's?
I don't know what that is.
They're a Columbus local shop.
I would assume that no.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. He's like, my name's Charlie and I lived in Columbus. Look at me. I'm fancy.
Hey, they have cool shit down there.
They do have some cool shit. Dollar General sells ice cream too. I think it's a little late for Dollar General, dear. They close at 10, don't they?
Probably. Maybe. Yeah, I don't think they'd be open till 11. Okay, so what other topics can you think of? We really should have like a script or a...
What do you think about this Spectre and the Meltdown?
I haven't actually looked much into it. Nick has, but I haven't.
I haven't either. I've read some interesting things about it slowing down. It's going to slow down everybody's computers because they're going to have to patch that where it's basically on the processor level. There's data that can be accessed while the processor is processing it. And that's what can be injected or hacked into.
Oh, okay.
That's my understanding of how it works. And so what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to put some kind of a patch on that, a software level encryption, which basically means it's going to slow everything down significantly.
It doesn't quite sound too accurate.
That's what I read. I could be completely wrong. It definitely was not from any like really good source.
I believe Meltdown had to do with RAM access. So you type in a password in your app of choice. Mm-hmm. The app stores that password in memory.
Right.
From what little I have gleaned from it, it seemed that random access, KSLR, whatever it's called, kernel random memory, whatever, it wasn't doing its job. So you could, like, if you have one app running, you could start another app as an unprivileged user, sift through the memory stack, and find
the password
content from a privileged account, and then read or change that.
Hasn't that flaw kind of always been there, though?
Well, evidently, yeah.
Because that was one of the things about running encrypted software, like your LMVM2s, your logical volume management, and then you can run your encrypted software behind that, so that your home drive and everything's encrypted.
No, not the same, because that would be data at rest.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, though, is like that's where the vulnerability always was.
No,
RAM.
Yeah, this seems to be at the RAM level.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter what disk encryption you have. It's as soon as you access that data, it's copied into memory.
Right. Because it can't process it if it's encrypted.
Well,
it decrypt it fast enough.
It can't process information on the disk because that's not how computers work.
Right.
You can't directly access disk data. You have to copy it into memory so that the application can use it.
Right, so it gets copied into the memory, it gets decrypted, then copied into the memory.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, you can't not do that. it's going to slow you down. And so
yeah.
that's why they're saying that any computer that's they were talking about Spectre specifically with the CPU, that anything that is 5 years older is going to get slowed. 5 years or younger is going to get significantly slowed down, and then anything that's over than 5 years is going to need replaced.
Well, computers only have an effective lifespan of 5 years anyways.
True.
So...
Yeah, my server needs to go trash.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Like businesses, we don't recommend them running any hardware, any mission-critical hardware older than 5 years. Just because they're not designed to last that long. So...
And this is all... Now, are both of these seem to be related to Intel?
Intel is the leader in x86 processors, so wouldn't be surprised.
Well, I'll have to research this a little more, I guess. Maybe we should have a topic.
Maybe for a less impromptu video stream.
Right.
Of, hey, I have this idea. Let's see if it works.
Yeah, sure, let's do it. This is a terrible idea.
That's how every great idea starts.
Let's talk about the iPhone X. It's a pretty nice iPhone.
Is that version 10?
Well, it's the 10th anniversary iPhone.
So they had an iPhone 9 before that?
No. Well, kind of. What are you getting at over here?
Kind of my pet peeve of versioning. And if you call something, you know, like in this case, the iPhone X, well, that indicates it's the 10th version of the iPhone.
No, that's not what it indicates, because they didn't use a number. They used a letter.
They did use a number.
No, they didn't. They used a letter. They have never, ever before used a letter in their phones. You have the iPhone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're like, we skipped the 9.
And so that's version 9.
No, this is the X.
No, that's the version 9.
This is the X for 10th anniversary. That's why that 10 is there. The Roman numeral X for 10 is because it's the 10th anniversary. It means something.
So they
didn't just skip it for no fun like Windows does all the time. No, they
did.
No, they didn't, because it's the 10th anniversary. It makes sense in some logical way. Anyway, you can do some cool stuff on this. I like it. It's a nice phone.
I still don't get the animated.
It's a good thing you got that recorded, because yeah. Oh, the Animoji thing?
Yes, the animated face snapshot thing.
I don't think I quite understand that either, honestly.
I get it from a technical standpoint that you're doing face tracking and converting that to a little sprite on the fly.
You're not going to be able to see this.
No, it's not going to work.
Yeah. I'm a unicorn right now.
Yeah.
Well, it uses infrared, right? And it shoots your face with these little tiny little dots of infrared.
So, in theory, if I come over here and it... Nope, I don't see any other little sprite. It was kind of confused about that. Oh, well, it did jump to me, but it's only one tracking at a time.
Yeah.
That'll probably be the next version. Like the iPhone M. There you go.
You look like an angry piece of shit.
I usually am.
Yeah. He's a poo emoji, and he does look kind of angry. I look like a cool poo emoji. I'm like, hey.
Yeah. Meanwhile, when it's on me, it's just evil, pissed off. Yeah.
That is awesome. I like the Face ID. It's really neat because there's no button anymore. So like I can unlock it with my face.
What do you mean there's no button?
There's no button. So before there's a home button right here, and you would use your fingerprint to unlock it. Now it's all done by face.
So there's no hardware button anymore?
No, there's no buttons on this at all.
Well, that
there's
sucks.
The power button, the 2 volume buttons. No, it is fantastic. At first I was like, I'm going to hate that, but I've gotten used to it, and I really like it. Everything's done with gestures. It's really easy to do. I stare at my phone unlocks.
Cool. So, hey, I have these cool pictures on this SD card. Here, check this. Check these out. Can you plug this into your phone?
Yeah, we'll just fuck. Every damn time. I have this computer over here.
Like, oh, or
We'll
if
plug it into here,
or
and
if
then we'll
my
be good.
or if my phone locks up, here's a battery that I can replace.
Oh shit! You can't replace batteries in any phones these days, except for the LG G6. I think that's the last phone to actually have a replaceable battery.
Well, then that's the highest phone that I'll go up to.
Yeah. Oh, that's brand new.
Oh, okay.
That just came out not that long ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because all the new Samsungs. I mean, I can't think of anything other than the LG that you can replace a battery on.
See, that's shady.
Yeah, it's interesting. Of course, now everybody knows about Apple getting in trouble with their batteries.
About what? What about the batteries?
So, Apple kind of skimped on the batteries, and they got caught. And what really is funny is they got caught slowing down their phones. Older model phones were purposely slowed down to make the batteries last longer because they had subpar batteries in there.
Ah.
So,
I was going to say, we've known that Apple's slowing down older hardware since, 15 years.
yeah.
That's common for them.
It's pretty funny because they got caught. And that was their excuse, was the batteries. Which,
Okay.
it's pretty much an Apple thing.
Yeah. And this is nothing new. They've literally been doing it since 2000.
So now they're going to do like battery replacements for $25. Yeah.
Yeah, you know how they could resolve that problem of an old battery going bad?
Yeah.
Making them user serviceable.
Open them.
Yeah.
Put a new battery in them.
Uh-huh.
Close them. Have they ever been? I don't think any iPhone ever has been.
iPhones have never had it.
Yeah.
No.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But they wouldn't be as pretty. And I know that there is some issues with the wireless charging as well, opening up, because you can't have any metal, so it's got to be aluminum, or no, god damn it, it's got to be glass. The back is glass now, because iPhones support wireless charging.
Usually phones are made of plastic.
Right, I don't know how that works with the wireless charging, but I know that all of the Samsungs are now glass backed. They support wireless charging. I'm not really sure how that all works.
Yeah. The back of my phone?
Is non-existent.
Non-existent.
I mean, I don't know how it's going to turn out in the future.
Which technically you can say it's rubber-ish.
Yeah.
This is my back.
But, your typical... So, like, they're saying that you get, 500 or 800 cycles? I can't remember.
Depends on the battery.
I think it was 800 cycles out of a typical Apple battery. 800 full charge cycles.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting number that they come up with. Samsungs are doing much better. Almost double that. But in Apple's defense, Apple didn't have to completely redesign their batteries last year because they were blowing their people's faces off.
Hey, you may call that a problem, but we call that a feature.
A feature.
Yes. In the event you need to, I don't know, start a bonfire and you only have your phone on you, perfect.
Yeah, they were so bad they won't even let you bring them on planes. That was pretty funny. Yeah. I was I believe I was flying to Texas last year, and they had all these signs up all over the place. Galaxy Note 7's not allowed on plane.
Wow.
Yeah, they wouldn't even let you take them on a plane. Which is silly, because, I mean, goodness, but, whatever.
I figure out how to turn this back on.
Better safe than sorry.
Oh, wait. Yeah, see, this is why I like hookahs more, is that there's no on switch. Unfortunately, it does take forever for it to turn on, or for the coals to light up. Yeah, 5 times, it's weird.
That's how they all are. I don't know.
I need more shisha. I really do.
Because you're in love with the cocoa.
Cocoa? What?
You can tell you don't listen to normal music like the rest of us.
No, I don't.
I have my daughter must have heard that song because now she's running around my house the other day going, "I'm in love with the cocoa." Cocaine. So I'm like, don't say that, man. He's like, well, I really like chocolate. Okay, but that's not what that song's about, Madison. Kids say the darndest things.
Yeah, I've never been one for pop music. And I'm guessing that would be classified as pop music.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, what else was on? Here's something else on Reddit.
Reddit? You read it? I didn't even know that.
How did you not know I read it?
I just didn't see, I don't see you as a Reddit kind of guy.
Yeah.
I see you as like a dark closet hacker kind of, iRobot, Mr. Robot kind of guy. Probably talks to yourself more than other people. Yes, of course. Well, you have too much facial hair for that. And yeah, there we go. That's better.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't talk to me. The voices. Yeah, good old Reddit.
Yes, same username on there as well. I tend to use that across all of my public platforms.
Here we go. You okay there, buddy?
It's not as smooth as hookah.
Well, in other news, top story. Trump says he's not a racist.
This doesn't sound... Or, how does it start? I don't mean to sound racist, but anything prefixed with that. Or if you have to iterate over and over that you swear you're not a racist, but...
I guess there were some comments made. He was denying those comments. But yeah, I would never, ever, ever go in front of anyone and say, I swear I'm not a racist. I honestly don't think Trump's a racist. I think that he is just not politically correct and gets caught by that a lot. But, yeah.
I would say it's a little more than not being politically correct. For example, I'm not politically correct. But most of the things he does, I'm just perplexed about.
What the hell is this?
I don't know. What is it?
This is Google's technology. Car. Anyway, yeah, I know everybody hates Trump. I like him.
One thing I watched today was, did you see anything in London where there is the mayor of London was having a press conference type thing, and there are some Trump supporters that decided to try to crash the party and arrest him.
I did hear, and they were going to hang him
Yes.
from gallows.
Yes. They rolled up a little portable gallows unit with the rope already attached.
This is in London.
In London, yes.
I don't even understand why.
Nor does anybody else.
Like, okay, you can't vote here, so fuck off. Like, if you can't vote in the United States, we don't care about your opinion. And you doing that did nothing but hurt Trump. Like, it's the same thing. Like when the Black Lives Matter people go and destroy a building or something. You're not doing anything for your cause except for hurting it.
Generally, yeah.
And most of the time, most of these individuals who feel like that they're, most of them are good people and they just want to see change. And then you got these few assholes that ruin it for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing for both sides. And it's just like, listen, if you want to go do something crazy, keep it to yourself and don't put my name in it because you're going to hurt me.
Yeah. There was one comment that I kind of appreciated was one of the protesters or whatever was carrying a little tiny American flag.
In the UK.
In the UK, yeah.
Okay.
That's sure, whatever. But the comment was that he was trying to do a more publicity type act, showing it to the camera.
Mm-hmm.
But he was holding it right side facing him, but the wrong side facing everybody else.
Okay.
And it was just an interesting commentary about how, an analogy about how he saw his views as correct, because according to his point of view, it was right.
Oh, okay.
But everybody else, it was backwards.
Yeah.
I just kind of appreciated that little analogy.
I think that politically we're so divided, and
Yeah, we are.
it's bad. Like I don't remember it ever being this bad, and the media, like on the left, you have your CNN, especially MSNBC.
Mm-hmm.
On the right, you got Fox News. You got like Breitbart, which I don't know if anybody actually pays attention to Breitbart, but trust me, normal Republicans like myself do not pay attention to Breitbart. Okay, just throwing that out there. But yeah, and they just like divide. And it's like it's so sad because there's no middle ground. You got the Democrats who are saying, yeah, we're not going to work with Trump. They won't even show up to meetings for the guy. And then you got the Republicans who are doing the same thing to the Democrats and who did during the 8 years that Obama was in office. So nobody wants to work together, and that's why we elect these fucking people. We put them in office so that they'll fucking work together, and
they don't.
Yeah. Because we need somebody. If I go in there and I have control of the House, I'm a Republican, right? We get Republican control of the House and the Senate, and we have no opposition, then you're going to get the extreme right. And same thing on the left. I think the answer lies right in the middle. Mm-hmm. Somewhere in the middle, in that compromise, is probably the best answer for our country. And we are never going to get there because of people, Nancy Pelosi, people like them, Chuck Schumer, who won't work with anybody, and they just want to fight everything off. And like, we're not going to get anywhere. Yep. And we need to get these people out of office.
Yeah. Yeah, there's David Letterman.
Isn't he retired?
He was.
Oh. Did he come out of retirement?
And then he found Netflix.
Oh, no. Does he have a show on Netflix?
Yes, he does.
Oh, that's exciting. I always like David Letterman.
Yeah, I liked him too. So they just had the first episode Friday, actually. Mm-hmm. And it's a different spin that Netflix is trying. Usually they air one whole season at a time. Mm-hmm. And then you have to go years until another one.
Like a year, yeah. Typical cycle.
Yeah. They are switching it up. So on this particular show, they're doing once a month. Huh. So once a month they come out with a new episode, because I guess it takes him. He's still kind of in retirement, so he doesn't really want to work.
Right.
That's okay.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Does not want it to be a 9 to 5 gig.
Right. Yeah. Well, his first episode was Barack Obama was his guest.
Ah.
And he spent an hour plus chit-chatting with him. And it was pretty interesting. One of the things he mentioned is how we are currently living in an echo chamber, where, as you mentioned, each side has their own echo chamber that they don't go out of.
Right.
And so the only information they hear is just echoed back from other extremists in both camps, in both Democratic and Republic.
I read a report, like some socialists are saying that Facebook, the social media, is the cause for that, because you add friends that are like you. And
not even that.
Yeah.
Even if you add all sorts of gamut of people, Facebook tries to cater your feed and what you see to what they think you'll like. Mm-hmm. And so if you're Republican, the feeds that you see will be far right?
I wouldn't call it far. Be careful.
Well, that's
don't call me all right, because then everybody's going to think I'm a racist.
I'm not using that term. But then me,
mine are going to be right leaning.
Yeah, but then me as a Democrat, things I see would be left, and I can't easily see outside of this fucking echo chamber.
Right. I guess that makes
because of the algorithms that are catered to your individual, trying to be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
But they're doing more harm than anything. And yeah, Facebook is one. Google has another. You do Google search.
Right, and it saves like your preferences. And,
Yes.
Yeah. Technology.
Yeah.
Scary. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things that I have noticed though, like on social media is, you probably don't get into like groups and discussions a lot.
No, I don't.
I do, and there's a lot of both sides, right, in these discussions, and I see from both sides some of the worst things ever that human beings, because you're on the internet, like people feel like they're safe and they can say whatever the hell they want.
That's been a thing for a while.
You really start to see people with no filter, and people are always talking about like today I watched a video on Facebook when a cop shot a dog, and one of the things is, well, I hope that cop gets shot in the face. Okay, that's not helpful, right? And like you see that, and you start to see that echoing, and that's on both sides. And so, being a person who I believe is intelligent myself, I tend to try, every time I see something on Facebook, I'm going to go and I'm going to look it up and try to get both sides of the story. Mm-hmm. And then somewhere in the middle, I estimate where the actual truth is. Yeah. And I'm usually right. And it's funny because a lot of times, like you'll see fake news all the time, like during the election.
Yeah, I hate that term.
You would see, I know, but you would literally see these news stories that weren't true. And you could go to the thing, you would like, I'm trying to think of one that I might have saw recently, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But like you can just look at it and you're like, oh wow, this isn't true. Oh, there was a video on Facebook today of a guy getting stabbed by another guy. And the caption for the video, it was a terrible video. I don't know how it ended up on Facebook. But the caption for the video was, father stabs the guy who raped his 2-year-old daughter to death. Well, okay. They caught it on video or whatever, but you'd come to find out that it was actually a cartel stabbing somebody who's selling drugs in their area. And so you could just watch all of these reactions and all these people. And
well, because the video sounded like it was clickbaity.
Right. But you could see everybody's like, oh, yeah, I'd do that if somebody went after my kid, or this bastard got what he deserved, and, like all this stuff going down there. Yeah. And, like, you're like, wow.
If that was
nobody even questioned it.
Yeah, if that was actually the case, sure, they might have had a point, but, yeah, it wasn't.
But here's the worst part. One of the very first comments somebody made was, no, this isn't true. It's actually this.
And I'm guessing they got downvoted.
They didn't get down. Well, there's no downvoting on Facebook. You like it.
Really? Oh, that sucks.
You can't like it. Yeah, but it was like the first comment. But then after all these other comments afterwards, because they just looked at the thing, typed in something,
right,
moved on with their lives. They didn't even read the comments. They didn't even participate in the conversation. They just threw out their shit out of their mouth.
Yeah.
For everyone else to see, and they didn't even participate.
And you see, that's why I like Reddit.
Yeah.
Because if you do that on Reddit, you get downvoted into oblivion.
Right, definitely.
There's a consequence to posting, even if it's just a comment. You can't just throw shit out there and expect nothing to happen. Like on Facebook, you mentioned there's no downvote. There's no...
You can like or you can react to somebody, but you can't... There's no, like, holding system. It's just...
Yeah, and so the shit posts like that, they stick.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't look like Facebook's going to address that anytime soon. I read an article the other day that says that they are not ready to handle the news. Facebook doesn't... Or so I think the headline was like, Facebook doesn't handle news very well and doesn't want to. They just don't care.
Well...
They want the ad revenue, and they don't care about anything else.
Facebook from the inception was never per se a news outlet.
It's become one though, a sharing outlet for other news.
It's not though, and it's a horrible medium to try to utilize as such.
It is, but that's I'm telling you now, especially the younger generation. That's where a lot of them are getting their news, and I would be scared to find the actual number for that and see like how many people are actually getting their news from Facebook.
Because, that's concerning.
Yeah, it is. And it doesn't help that the Trump campaign spread this "you can't trust the media" thing, because now people are like, I can't watch MSNBC on the television, but I got it from Facebook, so it's okay. Which is the exact opposite of what we should tell them.
Well, there is a point of you can't blindly trust
anyone.
Entertainment.
Yeah, anyone. There is CBS or not CBS. I'm sorry. CNN has come right out and said, "Yeah, we posted a bunch of bullshit about the Russia thing for the ratings, and we're going to continue to do it because of good ratings, because they're making money."
You mean a television show is an entertainment business?
Yes.
How
Even
about
the
that?
news is entertainment.
Yes.
And they're going to entertain you.
Yes.
Even the newspapers have to sell papers, and if
They do?
their news, yeah, and if those and if those newspapers aren't interesting, no one's going to buy them.
Right.
And so they give you what you want to hear, and that's the sad part. Whether is it true? Well, they do their best to make it mostly true. I'm sure that they do, because nobody wants to be embarrassed like that gentleman from ABC was embarrassed a few months ago.
I'm not really sure what you're talking about.
He posted or did a story that basically said Trump did collusion before he was president-elect. And so, like, it got passed around. It got to The View, and there's this video clip of the ladies on The View jumping up and down for joy and being all happy. And then you find out, like, a couple hours later that it wasn't actually true. And he did talk to the Russians, but it was after he was elected president, which is normal and totally legal. So, I mean, it was just like that guy, I don't remember his name, but he got suspended. But, I mean, nobody wants that. So they're not going to purposely go out there and post fake shit. Like, that's not what they're trying to do. But they will mislead you with their catchy headlines and their opinion articles.
Clickbaity articles.
Yes, because that's how we are. That's how, especially the younger generation, that's how we are now. We want to see that flashy article, and we're not going to click it if it ain't interesting, so we got like 3 seconds to catch my interest.
Yeah.
And I'm not reading the article. It's like that on both sides.
Which, now that net neutrality is dead, it won't load in 3 seconds, so you'll be fine.
I don't think it's going to change much. We'll see. I hope I don't have to eat my words.
Time will tell.
At least I won't have to eat my words on the internet, because there won't be an internet anymore.
Yeah, right. There you go. Yeah. Nobody will be able to see it.
Yeah.
It'll be in the data center, but nobody can get to it.
Charlie will be like, I told you so.
Or via carrier pigeon.
Carrier pigeon? Yes. I want one of those. That was fun. Got anything else?
I don't know. That's about all I had off the top of my head.
Oh, it's only been like 2 hours.
Hour or some odd change, yep.
Hey, and you dropped 0 frames. Good work.
What do you mean? What? 0 frames?
I don't know. It just says dropped frames over there.
Oh, dropped frames. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that metric would be coming from anyways. Like, is it frames that the system wasn't able to handle? Or frames that it handled and tried to send, but TCP failed to connect? Or
I imagine that you probably have some of those drop frames, because...
Right, yeah.
CSMA, but...
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either.
RTFM, probably.
Whatever that means.
RTFM.
What's that?
Read the fucking manual.
Oh, okay. Nope, never heard that one before. That one's new to me. Read the fucking manual. I like that.
Yes. That is...
System 76 Galago Pro.
This segment's sponsored by... Yeah, I wish.
You wish that System 76 would sponsor you?
Well, yeah. Maybe I could upgrade my, 7-year-old System 76 laptop?
That is sad. You should buy a new one.
I should. Yes.
You can buy mine.
Yeah, I just mentioned that I don't recommend clients using hardware older than 5 years.
Yours is like 7 years old.
Yeah. But kudos to the manufacturer that it's still working.
Good job, Clevo.
Yeah, right.
Although I am excited because they said that they're going to start designing their own.
Not
their own
laptops.
stuff. Well, they're starting with desktops.
Yeah, starting with desktops. Which makes sense. It's kind of the easy game to start. So,
And I played around with Pop a little bit.
Pop. What's Pop?
Their new operating system.
Oh, yeah. I saw something briefly about that.
Yeah, it's worth it. You should pop it up in a
Was it
virtual sometime.
just based on Debian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's based on Ubuntu.
Yeah, I guess I should have known.
So by proxy, Debian.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it makes sense. I liked it. I did the very alpha. It was a little too buggy for me, but
That's understandable. It is alpha.
I don't know where it's at now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's another thing on Reddit is that I didn't read much about, but there's something about a shithole or something.
Oh, the shithole comment, yes.
Yeah, I have no clue what that was about. I didn't really read into it. I just saw, like, the San Francisco Capitol building had welcome shithole or something on it. I don't know.
Trump was in a meeting.
Like I said, I didn't read into it. I don't care.
Like a closed-door meeting or something, and he said, why do we keep taking all these people from these shithole countries? He says he didn't say it.
Well, of course.
And he said, I guess I'll have to start recording these meetings then. Which I don't even know if that's legal. But he says he didn't say it. I don't know if he said it. Nobody has come out and said that, yes, he said it.
Evidently, somebody did.
Well, it was an anonymous source.
Oh, well, those are lovely.
Yeah.
Let's see, there's a post in Funny, something about Russia and underwater nuclear drones, la-di-da-di-da.
Oh, my God. No. Here it is. I think they must be out of the alpha, because they actually have a... Yeah.
Wait, they have two... Okay, so what's going on here? They have a download option for x86-based systems, and then they have a download option for NVIDIA systems?
That's the x86 with NVIDIA drivers, proprietary drivers. Because a lot of their computers ship with NVIDIA hardware.
Oh. It seems kind of silly to have two download links.
Yeah, installs the proprietary NVIDIA driver. Does not work with Optimus. Use the Intel AMD download. Cannot be used on secure boot systems.
That makes sense.
Or use the Intel AMD download.
Oh, so the X8 or the Intel is signed.
Seems that way. Yeah.
I wonder how they got that. Well, evidently Canonical did. Well, no, they couldn't have. I guess it could if they didn't change the kernel. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of secure boot either. You need to get it signed. You need to register for a private key and get your kernel signed from Microsoft. Yeah.
Well, I guess Ubuntu could have done that during the
Red Hat
partnership.
Red Hat did. They were the first one. They got their mainline kernel signed from Microsoft, which is kind of funny, but Azure Cloud can run Red Hat Enterprise, so that was part of what they had to do. So I guess Canonical did too.
I was thinking about picking this bad boy up though. Pop OS. You know me, I like to change my operating system every other day.
And that's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
That's why I have my own server. So I can make sure I back everything up.
But yeah, I'm not seeing very much of anything on right down the middle. Oh, that's cool.
You have a Gazelle, don't you?
Yeah. Gazelle Pro.
Okay, I'm going to have to get one. Let's see. What would it cost you to fully spec out your Gazelle here? You only need one drive. You don't need two.
What? Bullshit.
You want two?
I have two.
You don't need... Okay, fine. I'll give you two. Do you want two SSDs or two RPMs?
Usually, I like to roll one solid state for the OS and applications.
Okay, that's a 1 terabyte.
Yeah. And then one rotational just for long-term media storage.
How about a 2 terabyte?
That works.
5400 RPM drive. I gotta have the upgraded Wi-Fi card, because why not? 1775.
And what specs is that?
That is you get the Pop OS, which you could go to the other one. It's free.
Yeah, sure.
3.8 gigahertz, the i7-7700 HQ.
With up to 8 threads.
4
total.
cores, 8 threads.
Yep.
32 gigabytes of DDR4, 2400 megahertz. It's pretty fast. 1 terabyte solid state drive. So you could probably save some money if you drop that down. Yeah, you'd save about $300. You drop that down to a 250 gig.
Right. Actually, it looks like they haven't updated the Gazelle hardware in a while, because those are only running 500 megabit per second read.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Read is 540.
Yeah, they have others that are substantially faster. Like even I think your laptop's faster.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is pretty fast. Let's look.
So yeah, it supports up to a 4 gig.
Oh yeah.
CPU.
Because it's NVMe.
Yeah.
Whereas this one, does it support NVMe?
Evidently not. No.
That's kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
Looks nice.
Well, that makes sense if it's the same chassis from Clevo that they've been using all along.
Mm-hmm.
The manufacturer wouldn't have switched that entire processing line just to drop in NVMEs.
It does support it. That's an M2.
It's an M2, but it's not a nearline.
Oh, okay.
Because that is still having to run through the SATA bus.
But see, it's got support for Type-C, USB Type-C, so it should support. That's weird.
Yeah. It also only supports up to 32 gigs of memory. That's kind of sad.
Would you want 64?
If you can do it, why not?
Well, let's go the next laptop higher, which would be the Kudu. Kadu?
I don't know.
Blue Skidoo? We can
See, Ubuntu, so Kudu, yeah.
No, and you can't even change your... That's all you get. But you get the faster hard drive here.
Yeah, and it supports them.
There you go. Go broke.
There you go. 3.5 gigabits per second.
That's insane.
Yeah.
There you go. It's $1,800. That's worth it, right?
Yeah, it's still not hateful.
I wonder why that one's... You cannot pick your own processor in this one. Oh, you get the best one no matter what. But, I mean, you still get the good processor. Just get like a servo.
Yeah.
Get the workstation computer.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah.
Or the Bonobo, the literal desktop with a battery.
Yeah, I never understood that. The battery's got to last like 5 minutes.
Pretty much. Yep. Yeah, there was another manufacturer, a competitor against them, that I saw at Linux Fest a few years back. Can't remember who that name was. But their gaming laptop was at least 2 or 3 inches thick for the base.
Oh my god.
And it was quite literally desktop mainboard and sideways video card with a battery. Like it was impressive to see, but it was not effective in any.
You might as well just buy a computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think probably this would be the highest I would go would be the Oryx Pro.
Yeah.
That's $2,600. But you get the 64 gigs of RAM, the super fast hard drive, the bang-in processor, and you get that sweet-ass graphics card.
Dedicated graphics card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, if you want a game, that's what you want.
Right.
But who's got $3,000 to spend on a laptop? When you can spend the exact same, or you can get the exact same stuff on a desktop.
I was going to say anybody who
for a quarter of the price.
Anybody who buys Apple.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's true.
Because they have to.
But Apple has dedicated graphics cards too.
Right. But you're not getting away for anything under 2K.
That's true. Yeah. Look at them all with their little Pop OS logos. So beautiful. Mm-hmm.
There you go. Meerkat.
Oh, screw that. I would want a wild dog. I'm going to be buying one of these soon.
Buying a desktop?
Mm-hmm. My desktop died.
I figured you'd just make one.
I know, but I was thinking about getting one of these. They're so cool.
Yeah, desktops are still one thing where if you're an enthusiast, if you enjoy it, it's funner.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only recommended to buy pre-built if you're a business or something like that,
Right.
where you're paying for the time to build it. Because if you consider it takes 3 hours to configure, build, and assemble it, 3 hours times whatever your hourly rate is. So there we go. 12 terabyte hard drive. Oh, they have bigger options?
24. Oh, it's
that's
2X.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's cheating.
A lot.
Yay, 10 gig.
Ah, no thanks.
Aw, you don't want a 10 gigabit?
Not for $450. Hell no. Oh, I need dual displays.
There you go.
Yeah. 2X, 1440p. That's right there. That's where it's at. Yeah, better get that.
Yeah. Speakers and a mouse. Necessities.
It would only be like $5,000 for this bad boy. That's with everything, though. That's,
Yeah.
Yeah. Someday.
And it has liquid cooling.
Well, of course. It has to. That's a mean processor.
Yeah, 12 threads.
Yeah, I wonder what the next gen laptops are going to look like.
Well,
We can drool over those for a whole year.
look, they'll probably have similar appearances as the current lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Intel's doing for their mobile chips. I don't know if they have anything cool coming out.
I don't even know if it's probably not even worth upgrading.
Well, for you, since you just bought it.
Oh, yeah, that did happen.
Aw, no torrent link? Yeah, you might not want to have that. VPNs can be great unless you're trying to download a large file.
Yeah.
Then maybe not so much.
Unknown time left. Good job, Pop.
Yeah.
Oh, God, we're still streaming?
Yeah.
Oh, oops. Hi. We're just over here playing with System 76 website.
Yeah, at this stage.
Drooling.
Yeah, I was checking through Reddit trying to see if there's any new memorable story, but there's Doge.
Doge?
Yes.
Like the Dogecoin?
Yes. Of course, it's Reddit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
More Doge stuff.
Yes.
I was like, what happened to Dogecoin? Did they crash out or something?
No, they're going strong. The joke now on Doge is that one Doge has always been valued at one Doge.
One Doge has always been... I don't get it.
Because it's a joke about how Bitcoin, the value of that to US dollar has been pretty wild.
Oh, okay.
So if you look at the value of Bitcoin to US dollar, it's up and down and all over the place. But the value of a Doge has always been consistent with itself. It's Dogecoin. They're weird. Their mascot is a weird-looking dog.
It's Dogecoin, man.
Yeah. But it has been interesting, like the transaction fees on Bitcoin.
Oh?
Yeah.
Are they getting pretty high?
A little salty.
Yeah. I saw that.
Mm,
It's like 10% now?
something silly.
Yeah.
Which, back when Bitcoin wasn't worth anything, it was okay. But now that its value is actually substantial...
What is it, $15,000 a coin right now?
Is it...
Something insane like that.
Nice.
Like, I remember when it was like, oh yeah, they're worth about $100.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at them like, oh, it was right when they dropped the blockchain size from 50 to 25.
Mm-hmm.
And I was all disappointed. Like, oh, fuck. Now if I do the work, I only get 25 Bitcoin. It's not worth it anymore.
Oops.
Yeah.
Kicking yourself in the foot for that one. Do you think it's going to sustain, or do you think it's going to pop? A lot of people are saying it's going to pop.
Expected value is expected cap is 100K. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. That is if they can figure out their transaction fees. And that's kind of a big if. Because I was reading.
Yeah, because you're not going to pay $25,000 or $10,000 in transaction fees every time you want to use a Bitcoin.
Right.
That's
Even
ridiculous.
today,
You're paying $1,000.
you're paying $20.
Yeah.
$20 to do a transaction.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. To buy a $5 cup of coffee.
Right.
And then $20 basically transaction fee or credit card fee, if you will. No.
Yeah.
They're talking the block size, the active block size of Bitcoin is only 1 meg. So that's the register size.
All of Bitcoin is only 1 meg?
Current. And so like the working transactions in the environment is limited to 1 meg. And so in order to get verified, it needs to be added to that current set. But in order to get a place on that, you need to have your transaction fee set high enough that people with miners are willing to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the problem now, is that it's a buyer's market, maybe, where there are so many transactions that are requesting to get verified that you can up that transaction fee ridiculously high, and people will pay for it.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense.
Other currencies have gotten around that by not being limited to 1 meg. I'm not sure what Dogecoin, their blockchain size is, but I'm sure it's higher than 1. But that was a conscious decision when it was being developed.
What advantages does that provide?
Scarce resources.
Which scarcity drives. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Supply and demand.
Yep.
Well, that worked.
In a way.
And now it's going to fall apart.
It very well could.
Under its own,
Yeah.
So one of the big questions that people ask me is like, what is big? Like, what is it based off of?
It's based on the exact same thing the US dollar is based off of.
Which is?
Absolutely nothing.
Thank you so much, because that's why I tell people it means
but,
nothing.
But you have to prefix it with it's based on the exact same thing the US dollar is based off of.
Right. That's
Because if you just come out and say, oh, well, it's not based on anything, then that's, you have to kind of qualify it with, well, what are they used to? when they're used to US dollars. That's worth something. It has value, right?
Yeah.
No. Not anymore.
Not anymore. There's no gold to back it up.
No, there's not. Yeah, Fort Knox is basically an empty shell anymore.
It is. It is.
So yeah, interesting news, or just T-shirts.
Oh, some random gossip about stuff that probably isn't even true. I'm just waiting on this Pop OS download to finish. Hurry up! It's 5-BitTorrent's better.
Yeah. Yeah, I was curious why they don't have a BitTorrent link.
I know, they don't have a torrent file.
Yeah, because right now you're downloading at 2 megs a second. And if you had a BitTorrent, well, it would have downloaded at 80 megs a second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, their website is cool, though. Somebody really did a lot of work on that.
So, you mentioned that you used Pop OS briefly. Mm-hmm. What are their selling points? Like, what distinguishes that beyond the base Ubuntu?
Honestly, when I used it, there really wasn't much. That's why, but it was so early. It was just kind of like a here, give this a shot. But they pretty much told you straight up, like this is crap. Don't judge us by this because it's crap. So I'm kind of gonna try the new one, see if it's any better.
I'm just curious if they were big fanboys of Unity. Unity
no,
layout.
they're GNOME. They're gonna be.
Oh,
yeah.
Then that does seem like a silly decision, just at the high level. Because if that's based on GNOME and
Ubuntu, they're competing with themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they decided to develop their own OS. They have a lot of stuff on here. It just says, we believe the computer and operating system are the most powerful and versatile tools ever created. Desktop operating systems have moved too far toward the casual user. We're building an OS for the software developer, maker, and computer science professional who uses their computer as a tool to discover and create.
Wait, so they have a line in there, we feel that desktop operating systems...
the casual user. Yeah.
What?
That's what it says.
So desktop OSs are too catered for casual users.
Yeah. We're developing an OS for the software developer, maker, and computer scientists.
Okay. I haven't used this OS, so I'm...
The cloud and devices of the future are running Linux. Accelerate your productivity by developing on the same platform that you deploy to. Your tools and programming languages are supported natively and only command away.
Yeah.
Pop OS gets out of your way, maximizing screen real estate for your projects and communications. Organize your workflow with advanced window management, workspaces, and keyboard shortcuts for navigation.
So that sounds like they're using a tiled interface, but they're not using a tiled interface. They're using GNOME 3.
They're using GNOME, yeah.
Which I like GNOME 3. I use it. I have been using it since the very unstable beta years and years ago, but yeah.
Yeah, they're showing off window snapping, which has been around for the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Keyboard navigation. I mean, that's kind of... Native access to toolkits. I don't understand that.
The development libraries to write the software.
Gotcha.
Like GCC, any of the -dev libraries, which again are all basic libraries that are available on all distributions.
Oh, it's got that huge...
It has Redshift. Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah. Well, when it works, it works. Unfortunately, it likes to crash on my computer.
Everything crashes. You just need your computer, man.
Or if nothing else, I just need to reinstall without running SID.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get Pop OS. You'll probably have it for 2 days and be like, I'm tired of this.
Probably.
Is this thing done downloading yet?
Nope, not yet.
Almost.
2 minutes.
Yeah, I gotta go soon. Gotta go get my wife her ice cream.
Oh, yeah. Before they close in 40 minutes.
Yeah. That means I get ice cream too, so I'm not gonna complain too much about it. I'm a fat guy. Fat guys like ice cream. So.
Let's see. Here's a link of Russia and Kaspersky. Okay.
Like Kaspersky antivirus?
Yes. Kaspersky antivirus.
Oh, that's kind of scary. How would you like your antivirus program from Russia?
Well, Kaspersky is from Russia, I believe.
I know. Like nobody uses it. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Hey, they do have a pretty nice live OS.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep. It's basically impossible to find, but they do...
It's nice if you can find it.
Yeah, they do technically create it. They just don't advertise it, nor link it, nor... It's like listed in their forum somewhere. But yeah, it's a KDE-based Linux or live Linux distro that you can burn through CD or USB disk.
Mm-hmm.
You boot it up. You connect to the network. You connect to the internet. It downloads the newest updates for their definition software.
Right.
And then it lets you run their antivirus scanner against whatever.
The hard drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
So it's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, because then nothing's running. You're
Right.
just reading.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, there's... Here's somebody asking if they can do anything because their email was published on a spam bot list. Use Google. I don't know.
You can, if you're like the email host, the email provider, like if you get like if eval gets lifted on you can actually write the spam people who put you on the list, and they will request certain things from you to prove that you're not spamming people, and then they'll take you off their list.
Yeah. I think this guy was mentioning that his personal email ended up on a public list and now he's getting spammed to death.
That sucks. Yeah, you're pretty much screwed. You have to change your email.
Yeah. Though Google does a pretty good job of minimizing that.
Yeah, they do. I like Spam Assassin works really well too.
Here's some pictures of some pretty hookahs.
Pretty hookahs?
Yeah.
Hookahs? Or hookers?
That would be a very unpleasant hooker. Yeah.
Depends on what you're into. I suppose. Yeah, I'm one of those people.
Oh, you mean your house is only
some of them.
Most of them outlet
are
thing?
Some of them are only two.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I guess I'll start winding down as well if my remote still works. Hey, it still works. Ah. Yes, my little keyboard and mouse combo.
My giant bag for my little laptop.
Let you carry more toolkit or tools in there.
Oh yeah, I got lots of...
and adapters and everything else. Okay. Good night.
Good night.